I'm not from Cuba. I'm just half Cuban. My dad is Cuban.
Your family's Cuban?
Yeah. Most of my family has been here for a while. We don't have a lot of family there, but the people there are struggling.
I've seen a lot of Cubans for Trump.
That's unfortunately, that comes from the anti-revolution sentiment from Fidel's time. It's
There is a very popular song for Trump.
yeah, there is, yeah. It's unfortunate. A lot of them come here and just turn completely capitalist and support Trump because they think it's the whole idea of the American dream. When they start getting deported, then they'll see the regime that he's putting on now.
Have y'all seen the video of that Cuban Trump supporter, man, complaining about Trump after there was a video that went viral of him celebrating Trump's victory a few months ago because Trump signed an executive order that's pretty much demanding that truck drivers know and speak and can read English in order for them to be a truck driver. And guess what this guy does for a living, man? Yeah, he drives a truck, man. He hasn't just driven a truck. He's been driving a truck for 20 freaking years, man. For 20 years, and now he's scared that he might lose his license because he doesn't speak a lick of English. And at that point, I mean, yo, you've been here for 20 years, man. At that point, you kind of did it to yourself, bro. But whatever, man. It points to the fact that there was a lot of Latinos, man, that were supporting Trump that I was looking at them like, I don't know, bro. I think you might want to be quiet at this, at least publicly, you know, because a lot of Latinos out there were doing certain things that, you know, when the Democrats are in control, they just look the other way. They don't really care, you know. But when the Republicans get up in there, they start shaking things down, you feel me? And now this dude is over here scared because he's like, damn, how am I gonna feed my family, bro? This is all I do. And yeah, I know that the Latinos that hate Trump are having a field day with this video, man. It's going around the internet. Everybody's telling me, you see, we told you he don't care about no Latinos. But nah, bro, come on, let's start learning English, bro. You've been here 20 years, bro. That's one thing that Latinos do that blows my mind, bro. I know people been here 40, 50 years, bro. Don't speak a lick, can't even beg in English, bro. But yeah, that was a little funny.
We started a video with that Cuban lady being interviewed. And she was explaining about the situation in Cubans and her relatives who are based in Cuba. But also, if you have been on this channel for so long, you have watched this popular song.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote.
Raise your hands, come on.
For Donald Trump. Dale cintura, 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 cintura. I will vote for Donald Trump.
There was a song that was composed by Cuban singers in order to support their puppy Trump. They have been singing this song during Trump's campaign just to show him that they were supporting him. And this song became so popular to the point that even people who were not supporting Trump started finding themselves singing this song, including me. Now, it seems like the situation has changed. Cubans have been singing, I will vote for Trump, are no longer singing the same song. Because after voting for him, they have seen that what they were expecting is not what they are getting. Because in the few weeks after him being the president, he came up with some policies of deporting them back to their countries. And apart from Cubans, also many other Latinos have cheered for him. They have supported him. They have been saying it during interviews that they were behind him. But also, like Cubans, many other Latinas are about to be deported back to their countries. And I think they're learning through the hard way. So, today's topic is about those Cubans who voted for Trump and some other Latinas who voted for him just because of their anti-blackness mindset or their ignorance, not knowing what he was about to come with. And I put together a bunch of clips for you guys to watch, and I want you to watch them from the beginning to the end. As you're watching also, remember to give me your own opinions down there in the comment section. I'll come back at the end and break it down for you guys to understand what's really going on. Stick around.
A Cuban guy who voted for Trump, who is now crying on the internet. He's a trucker. And now truckers are required to speak English, right? And this guy, he voted for Trump. He made it very public that he voted for Trump. He doesn't speak a lick of English, no English whatsoever. So now he's mad. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Trump? Like, I've been in this country for 20 plus years and I've never needed English and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, okay. First of all, you've been here 20 plus years. Anyone that has been in this country for 20 plus years is required to speak English. I don't give a fuck. On top of that, you voted for him though. And this goes for all of those Cuban people, because Cubans were so loud and obnoxious about Cubans for Trump. Cubans for Trump. I unfollowed this obnoxious influencer girl who quite literally was an illegal, but of course married a white guy. And all of a sudden she's all about, I'm a conservative woman, I voted for Trump, blah, 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 blah. Like, girl, please, be for reals. And so Cubans were so loud about voting for him, and it's just, I don't even think it's funny anymore. Now it's just like seeing all of these people who voted for him getting slapped in the fucking face. It's just, I can't even say it's funny anymore. Like, it's like, hello, we knew this was happening. We knew this was gonna happen. So anyways, karma is real. What have I been telling you guys? Karma is real.
It's been a little over 100 days since this administration took office. Until this day, I still get asked, how did Latinos, how did your community vote for him? And honestly, it is multi-layered and multifaceted. Let me tell you that I am also not one of the people that voted for him. And I say it's multi-layered, multifaceted because I think there's multiple reasons. Sure, there's a concern around misinformation and disinformation having taken advantage of our community or having people confused. I think that's one part of it. Another part of it is, frankly, racism, misogyny, the fact that many Latinos didn't want a Black and Asian woman to take office, the fact that many Latinos thought that because he is a man, that he would somehow save the economy or do a better job at the economy, when in fact she actually has a degree in economy and fully had laid out plans and told us that what would be happening as far as the tariffs are concerned. Kamala Harris did tell us what would happen, and here we are. But I also say that it's multifaceted, multi-layered, because there is machismo that exists and internalized oppression, internalized racism that exists within our community, the Latino community. There's also colorism that exists within our community. So many of us are raised and brought up to believe that darkness is a bad thing. That if you're more claro, if you're more lighter, that you will have it better or that you are better. Like, many of us are socialized, whether or not even our families are aware of it, but are socialized to believe things like that, to want to be closer to whiteness, to be bought into proximity to whiteness. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to admit it. Whatever, that is their own thing. But I am naming the things that are prevalent in our freaking community. Anti-Blackness is a major thing that exists in our community. Okay? All of this stuff contributed. But I will also say the lack of empathy for immigrants. The fact that people feel like because they're second generation or third generation that they are better because they didn't have to immigrate here. This country was stolen from indigenous people, from white people that immigrated here. Again, something that people don't seem to want to talk about or acknowledge, but it is the reality. So for people to feel like, oh, well, they're only going to take the criminal. No, you see what's happening right now. You see what's happening right now. And Latinos, so many Latinos that are now being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to happen. Oh, I regret my decision. Oh. Well, look at you now. Look at us now. Look at what's happening.
You don't get to celebrate a culture that you've tried to erase. So for all you maggots out there, this Monday, it's not Cinco de Mayo for you. It's just May 5th. And that is all. And that is how it should be. If you've ever said, speak English, if you've ever called an immigrant illegal, or if you cheered for walls, bans, or mass deportations, don't you dare celebrate Cinco de Mayo. You do not get to enjoy the flavor of a heritage and culture that you have demonized. No margaritas, no tequila, no tacos, and you don't get to dress up in those little sombreritos and pretend that just for one day that you respect the Mexican culture, when the rest of the year you treat it like a threat. You maggots want to whitewash America? Fine. Then go ahead and celebrate whitewashed holidays. Go to chain restaurants. Eat bland food. Wave your little flags around. But don't you dare toast to a heritage that built this country. You cannot hate the hands that built this country and then raise a glass to their traditions, all while disrespecting their culture. You didn't earn Cinco de Mayo, you maggots, so don't speak her name. If this struck a nerve, then good. Let the hypocrisy shine spotlight and share away with this video. Drop a heart, drop a follow.
All my Mexicanos, baby, today, especially on Cinco de Mayo, because forget everything that you ever learned about this day and know that Cinco de Mayo is one of the greatest examples of black and brown unity ever. But see, we're not taught about that in America. We're taught about tipping one back and all of that good stuff. But Cinco de Mayo is a day where the Mexican forces fought off the French on the Battle of Puebla. And that was Afro-Mexicanos and indigenous Mexicanos fighting alongside to thwart the French from not only taking Puebla, but also being able to assist the Confederate Army in the Civil War. See, they don't teach us about that. I love my Mexicanos. I love my Latino and Latina brothers and sisters. Thank you. Let's unify, y'all.
I don't know if it's just me. But I feel like some of the African American people, they are obsessed with race and skin color. I don't know if it's just me. I was working a few days ago and I had a customer. He was African American, he was black, and he asked me, "Oh, what's your first language?" Because it's obvious that my first language is not English. I just moved to this country like a year ago. So I told him, "Oh, my first language is Spanish." And he asked me, "Oh, so you're Latina, where are you from?" And I told him, "Oh, I'm from Dominican Republic." So he told me, "Oh, you're black." But he said it like, "You're black." And I was like, okay, is there something wrong with that? Should I feel bad about it? And he was like, "No, but a lot of Dominican people, they think they're not black, but they're black." And I was like, okay, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are just miserable and they're not happy with what they are, and then they want to make sure that other people are miserable too, and they're not happy either. You know, it's like, I don't know if it's just me, because in my country we don't really think about race or skin color, or in Dominican Republic people don't care if they are like Hispanic, Caribbean, black, Afro-Latinos. We don't care about this kind of stuff. We don't really think about that. Over there we're just happy people. We are too busy being happy to be thinking about this kind of stuff. You should be happy too, Papi Chulo. Just be happy. Practice this. You will like it. You will like the feeling. Practice happiness and stop being miserable about what you are. Just be proud of what you are. I wouldn't imagine myself like asking people where they're from and making sure that they know what they are. It's like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from China." "So you're Asian." "Oh, I'm from Colombia." "So you're Latina." "I'm from Africa." "So you're black." We don't care about that. That's not my business. I don't care what you are. I don't care how you feel about your race. So stop being miserable. Life is not that serious. Don't take life so serious. Jesus Christ. Just be happy and be proud of what you are.
Born and raised in Miami.
What are you?
Huh?
Like race-wise.
Oh, okay.
What am I?
Yeah, what are you? No, I'm Dominican. Well, born and raised in Miami. My parents are Dominican, and I'm obviously an Afro-Latina. So yes.
So both your parents are Dominican?
Yes, both of my parents are Dominican. Right. My mom still don't know no English, a little bit. We're working on that.
So what is an Afro-Latino? I thought that was half black, half something else.
That's what I thought it was too. I thought it was half black, half Latino.
Well, the thing is that how we see black here in the United States is different. You think black, you think African American.
Right.
See, for us in Dominican Republic, because we're all Dominican, you only have but to say you're black.
I thought Dominicans didn't really mess with black and Puerto Ricans. I thought they didn't want to be black and they didn't want to be Puerto Rican. And anyone
Well,
be
because
Haitian,
if you're Puerto Rican, then that's what you are, and if you're Dominican, that's what you are. So
Puerto Rico's in the United States.
you want to rep what you are or where you come from. So that's pretty much what it is. I don't know how it be out here, but in Miami, everybody's pretty cool.
You know,
can
remember
always
we had
just say you're
Dasha
a Latino
Polanco
with
up
an
here.
afro.
Yeah, I can say I'm Latino. I'm Latina.
With an afro.
Even if I had an afro, I didn't have an afro. I mean, I'm still Afro-Latina because I come from African descent. So that's what it is.
Let me tell y'all about this event that I went to where there were a lot of Latinas who didn't know I was also Latina. So we were all sitting waiting for the dinner, and this group of girls were like, oh my gosh, they got all the Latinas together and this and that. Mind you, they were just talking about them. And I was sitting next to them, but they didn't know I was Latina. So somebody in the table asked me, oh, hey, like, where are you from? And then I said I was from Honduras. And the girls went, no way, I had no clue you were Latina. And I was like, at first I felt a little uncomfortable, but then I'm like, well, they wouldn't even know if I'm Latina because in the States, people assume that me being black means I'm African American. So then I told them I was from Honduras, and they went saying that they didn't know there were black people there and all that. It was definitely an interesting experience and a moment for me to educate my people.
Let's talk about what's really going on with Cubans and other Latinos who supported Trump. It's honestly one of those things where you sit down and say, you voted for this, now you're feeding the heat. We all remember the time when many Cubans were singing, cheering, and waving Trump flags as if he was their hero. There was even that song that was very popular. It was trending on TikTok that was known as Cuban for Trump, or I Will Vote for Trump. I don't remember the title, but it was a song that has been trending on TikTok. I mean, Cubans singing, celebrating the win of Trump. And honestly, it looked like they really believed that Trump was going to make their life better. But now, many of those Cubans who have been singing that song are now regretting their votes. Why? Because campaigns promises are totally different from the reality. Now we are seeing Trump and his administration pushing policies that are against their own interests, that are hurting those Latinos and those Cubans. Deportations are going up. I've been showing you guys a bunch of clips of many Latinos and Cubans being deported back to their country. And as we've heard from the first clip, life back in Cuba is no good. And that's why many Cubans are not happy with that. TPS is getting cancelled or delayed. And now there are even these new rules that says that if you cannot speak English fluently, you cannot become a truck driver. Let's pause there. Truck driving is one of those jobs that Cubans and many Latinos who cannot speak English fluently depend on to survive. So now, how are they supposed to feed their families, pay rent, send money back home? And that lure of being able to speak English fluently does not help safety. It just pushes more immigrants to lose their jobs. And that's the point. This is all a part of this anti-migrant agenda. And here's the thing that really makes it worse. These Latinos and Cubans voted for this. They voted for these policies. They voted for the man who promised at the beginning to be tough on immigration. The man who had been calling their countries shitholes, and who built his whole campaigns on blaming immigrants on America's problems. And yet, they still supported him, maybe hoping that he would only target other people. Let's be real. Some Latinos and Cubans believed that Trump's hate wouldn't reach them. As we heard from those clips we watched, some of those Cubans, those Latinos, tried to separate themselves from other black people, other dark-skinned people, even their own Afro-Latinos. They were trying to separate themselves from them. And you see this in many clips I bring to you guys of people saying, I am not black, I am a Latino, I am not black, I am a Dominican, I am not black, I'm a Cuban. Those kind of things. Like, they think being closer to the whiteness would protect them. But that's not the case. For those who know Trump, they know that for him, he doesn't see them differently. To him, they're just people to be deported. He doesn't care if you are a Cuban, a Venezuelan, a Mexican, a Dominican. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if you have an accent, if you are brown, if you didn't vote for Kamala Harris. None of that matters. He will still come for you. Now, some people ask, why did they vote for him then? That's a good question to ask, but one of the people in those clips have answered this question. For some, it's about the religion. Trump talk about Christianity and church and family, and that connects with people from Cuba and Latin America who are Catholics or who have Christianity background. For some, it's about socialism. Many Cubans, Venezuelans escaped their country due to socialism. So they panic and become afraid when they hear Democrats talking about social programs. And Trump used that fear. He told them Democrats are socialists, and they believed him. But I think the biggest problem is identity. I'm not sure because I'm not based in the US. Maybe those people who are based in the US will help me down there in the comment section. But I think some Latinos don't like to be seen as black or brown. They are used to saying things like, I'm not like others, I am a legal immigrant. And maybe in their minds, they thought voting for Trump was a good way of showing that they belong to the white America. But after that, with everything that is going on now, I think some Cubans, some Latinos are finding out that the white America doesn't see them in that way. They cheered for Trump, but now he's cheering for their deportations. And this is also one of the ultimate FAFO moment. Yes, they effed around voting for him, and now they are finding out the hard way. In my previous videos, I showed you some clips of truck drivers from Cuba, from Latin America, crying about losing their jobs. Some of them were saying that they can't pay their bills, and others saying that this is not fair. But I think you cannot be safe under the man who rise to power by dividing people. Don't vote for people who build their power by stepping on others. It always comes back to you. If you supported Trump before, okay. But now you seeing the truth. Now is the time to stand with your community, to stand with your fellow brown people, to stand with other immigrants, to stand with other marginalized groups. Stop trying to separate yourself, because when you do that, you're only weakening yourself. You are stronger together, and that's what they're afraid of. And that's why they keep trying to divide you. And that's it for today, guys. Make sure you drop your own opinions down there in the comment section. And if you've not yet subscribed, smash that subscribe button.